Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boy.
Oh, without your brush, give it a clean. We're gonna paint a picture like the world's never seen. Come on and settle in for Tiny Peter's awesome night of art live stream. Oh, that says anal. Oh, for God. Why did no one tell me this? What the hell?
Well, hello there, and welcome once again to a brand new episode stream of...
Good afternoon, Tiny Peter. How are you? How was your weekend? Super for another art stream. Again, want to thank you for the art you did for me on the last art stream. I haven't received it yet, but will share it on Twitter when it arrives. Really enjoyed this weekend's worst games ever and all the other content. Hope all is well. Hope you are having an awesome day.
Of Tiny Peter's Awesome Night of Art live stream. There we go. One day we will start our live streams and be able to finish our opening sentence before the generosity rolls in. But that day was not today. You guys are just too quick off the mark with your being niceness. I keep telling you, Peter, you just ignore it, says Lorotovich. What? Just ignore what? Just ignore the messages that come up straight away? Or, I keep telling, I see. Why did no one tell me this? Right. Yeah, it's fine. So that's a pretty amazing shirt, Peter. This was sent in on the Tatapeel. I've got a sweater and I've got an apron, and I feel the need to rotate them. Well, I always have the sweater under the apron, but obviously when the apron's over the top,
ATP.
You can't see the sweater.
Watching this on day 3 in the isolation station after catching the vid-19. Thinking positive thoughts though. Undecided on doing an art today. However, I did finish up my work from the last art stream and posted it to the hashtag today. Time for some anal. TTJ Pete.
TTJ Pete. Oh, I didn't know it was called that. But yeah, when I've got the sweater, the apron on, you can't see the sweater. So I thought, as today is going to be a digital day, certainly at my end, maybe not for you, might be a physical day in terms of your art, I won't need an apron because Photoshop is clean. Well, except when it's really buggy and glitchy and annoying. Photoshop's less of a culprit for that kind of thing. It's not so bad. Premiere, on the other hand, Adobe, you need to sort your life out. So, hello and welcome to the art stream. Thank you to Steven Skodes for 100 bits there, and to Forgotten Media for 100 bits, and a Buick there from Steven Skodes, who's been subscribed for 33 months now on a 30-month streak, and says, it's anal time for a resub time on a Tiny Peter stream. 33 months with the best community and channel. Peter is one cool dude and master of the art. Always good to see you, Peter. Dick salute. Thank you, Stephen. And thank you to Mr. Black for subscribing. 2 years as an official walrus, quite a few years as unofficial walrus during the previous ventures. Here's to at least 2 more years. Well, thank you, Mr. Black, for 2 years. Congratulations on that milestone. So Stephen's initial message with bits, I should say, I should read these out, the 2 bits messages that we had. Yeah, you haven't received the art yet. Well, no, I'm sure it's in the post. Fraser has it from me. I handed it to him like last week or the week before, so it'll be on its way, I'm sure. So I hope you are pleased when it arrives. And I had a very good weekend as well. Thank you, Stephen. Forgotten Media, very sorry to hear that you're in the isolation station after catching the vid-19. Tell your friends, vid-19. Day 3 isolated as well. So, I mean, Ben is kind of like that. He's not, I mean, he's in isolation in the sense that he's at home, which is where you'd be whether you had COVID or whether you had the flu or whether you had the whatever. But yeah, he is unfortunately suffering with coronavirus.
Howdy, Peter. Hope you're well. though I'm still stuck in the final year dimension. Saw what was happening today, so I made some time to join in on some Photoshop fun. As someone who regularly makes thumbnails, I'm looking forward to this, and ready to make some cursed stuff. TTJ Nerd Peter.
Nerd Peter. Come on, Emma. You get yourself ready. There we go. There, see, it's not often she looks down the lens, is it? Like, normally she's all slumped and flumped, but she's doing all right today. So sending love to Ben Potter, everyone, on social media. Hopefully he's doing better very soon. But all the best to you, Forgotten Media, as well with coronavirus. I hope you feel better soon. You're undecided on doing art today, but you have submitted work to the hashtag. Well, I'll be looking at the gallery today.
Oh my days, when did Neil Buchanan Annan become the fourth jump? Neil Buchanan Annan and Anil on one stream? You spoil us.
Oh my God. Yeah, sure. So, yes, Forgotten Media, all the best to you. So then we had GUI Goliath gifting 2 subs. They've gone to Diazunas and Prismatic Controller, taking GUI Goliath up to 456 gift subs gifted to the channel. That is a ludicrous amount of gift subs. I mean, we almost get numb to the fact that GUI Goliath is so generous. But that's almost 500 subs gifted to the channel, which they cost $5, don't they? Or more? I don't know. But that's wild. Thank you so much, GUI Goliath, for your continued, ever growing total of gift subs. Jack Bradshaw with 100 bits. Howdy, Peter. Hope you're doing well. I'm stuck in final year dimension still, but I saw what was happening. Thought I'd come and do Photoshop. As for someone who regularly makes thumbnails, I'm looking forward to this. I'm ready to make some cursed stuff. Yeah, we're going to be doing thumbnails today. It's very exciting. I thought we'd do something a little bit different. It's not so different. And as I say, you can do it with pen and paper and paint and stuff if you want to. Or MS Paint. You don't have to use Photoshop, but I'll be using Photoshop. I thought it's an excuse to do that. And it's something that I am good at, in the sense that I have made every Worst Games Ever thumbnail ever. I didn't make them all at Vidiots. I think whoever edited each episode made them at Vidiots. So Michael Johnston has made some back there. But I think I made all of the What Culture ones. I made maybe half of the Vidiots ones. I'm not really sure what the distribution was in the end between me and Mikey editing Worst Games Ever's at Vidiots. I think maybe I may have edited more than him, but not a huge. It might have been maybe like 2/3, 1/3, something like that, or maybe a bit more even. Maybe it was closer to 50-50. Don't know. Don't remember. And then, of course, here at Team TripleJump, I've done them all, and I actually continue to do the thumbnails for Worst and Weirdest Games Ever, even though after many years of editing Worst Games Ever, alongside Michael Johnson partly for a period of time, I hung up the editing gloves not so long ago, and your boy James Jenkins has been doing Worst Games Ever for a number of months now. And Kieran, one of our in-house editors, who's a lovely boy, has done every episode of Weirdest Games Ever since it started. It's only monthly, so there have only been like 4, I think, something like that. But yeah, he's done them all. And he will hopefully continue to do so long into the future, unless, he gets that good at it that he gets poached from us and goes to work for, Pinewood Studios or something. Could happen. So yeah, we're doing thumbnails today. So Jack, I hope you enjoy doing that, especially as you have some experience. Hypernarcosis, narcissosis. Hyper-narcissosis subscribed via Prime for 13 months. That's over a year. You have every right to be narcissistic, being subscribed to us for more than a whole calendar year.
Even though James does a wonderful job on the edit for Worst Games Ever, you were phenomenal when you edited them as well.
Phenomenal.
TTJ Dick salute.
Goodness me. Stephen Skoders with 2 gift subs as well. They've gone to Robbie 2248 and Sean Anthony 96. I'm just going to turn that monitor. It's like I'm facing it that way, and it's like it's turned like that. It's like almost turned away from me, and I don't know who has moved our stuff. Who's been moving our stuff? Stuff and that. There we go. So thank you, Stephen. That takes you up to 298, not far from 300 now. Wow, that's an awful lot of gift subs. Thank you very much indeed. We have got 100 bits from McPeety94, who says, oh my days, when did Neil Buchanan become a fourth jump? Neil Buchanan and Anal on one stream? You spoilers. I know, try it yourself. We could watch the Neil Buchanan Anal video that exists on YouTube, given that it does actually so handily tie in the two themes of this art stream, which is Man in Red Jumper and Anal. What's it going to be called? Neil Buchanan Innuendo, perhaps? I'll find it. Most of you probably know the video I'm talking about. YouTube. Just chat amongst yourselves while I find this. Neil Buchanan dirty video. Oh, that sounds... I mean, fortunately we're on YouTube, so it's got to be pretty safe. Oh, there's the one where they've like edited it so it looks like he's drawing a dick, but that's not the one. I think it's like a Vine that someone made. Hang on, maybe if I type Vine. Let me check the chat, because by the time I've got round to... Someone might have already posted it in the chat. No. You guys know the video I'm talking about there, right? If I just search for the phrase, I don't even want to... Okay, this might be the one. Oh no, it's not. That's not it. I can find that loads of people have uploaded the one where he draws a dick, but that's not the one I want. I want the one where he's like, you're lying awake at night. Oh, there's a YouTube poop here. Is this the one? Probably not, no. If some of you will know the video I'm talking about, and if anyone can find it and post it in the chat, then I will play it for everyone. But I can't find it. Basically what they've done is they've edited it, they've just cut loads of clips together of him, and he's saying, oh, have you ever been picture this, you're lying in bed at night and you grab your sausage, and they've like snipped it all up from loads of episodes, and he's saying, and give it a toss, and then they've got him like blowing this white. There's a bit from an actual art that he was doing once where he's like blowing white paint across a piece of paper, and he's going, oh, and it's just going everywhere. It's a good video. It's pretty funny. So if anyone can find it, I think it was a Vine at one point, or maybe even a TikTok, but yeah, people just re-upload stuff, don't they, to Vine and TikTok. So if you can find it, we'll watch it. I can't find... There's the one where he draws a dick that someone's done, which is also clever, but it's not anal related. So there you go. Here we go. Where did I get up to? Pup George subscribed. What better way to celebrate this anniversary than with anal? Anniversary, you're on 4 months now. Congratulations. Thank you for being with us. And Corey Lion Bar subscribed via Prime for 16 months. Time for my sporadic use of my Prime sub because I suck at remembering these things. Have an absolutely nifty afternoon laughing, TP. I've actually got Amazon Prime at the moment, which I don't normally have. I wouldn't normally pay for, but I feel like I should spend the Prime thing on TripleJump because, we'll get a free like $5 from that. So I don't know why I've not done that. It's because I just don't go on Twitch, really. So, or certainly not to our streams to subscribe. So, yeah. 100 bits from Steven Skodes. Even though James is a wonderful editor on Worst Games Ever, you were phenomenal when you edited them as well. Well, thank you, Steven. It's very kind. Batman fan Drew. Batman fan Drew what? We'll find out later in the art stream. Yes, I love art streams. Anal, I see. I love art streams. Thanks for the streams, TP. Here's to almost 3 years to y'all and your hard work. 34 months. Batman fan Drew. Well done and thank you. Stephen Skoda's gifted 2 more subs, taking Stephen to 300 gifted subs given to the community. That's the Andy Christ 76 and Wembley TTV. Thank you, Stephen, for those gifts. Okay, Lobrotovich has found it, seemingly. Oh, how are you? You're really good at this kind of thing, Lobrotovich. Whenever I'm like looking for stuff, I'm like, oh, I can't find it, and then like 2 minutes later, you do just find it. Right, we're going to watch it right now before everyone clicks on that link in the chat and watches it before I get to show it. Let me head over to the PC. Here we go. I'll just mute the background music for now. Here we go. Let me know if it's too quiet or whatever, but it should be all right. Oh, Jesus. It's probably a bit loud, I would have thought.
Hello there. Good to see you again. Hey, it's the middle of the night, and there you are, lying in bed, playing with yourself. First, you need a thick, chunky sausage, just a little bit smaller than your head, that hardens by itself. Just very carefully lift those feet, and then just slip your finger in your bottom, or you could even put a pen in it. Just poke it in, and you need to push it far enough down so that it doesn't fall out. Oh, there it goes inside. And remember, try not to be too rough or you'll tear the skin.
Oh.
Just wiggle away. Feels really nice to do this, you know. And then take it out. Now, if you've got an hour to spare, you can watch me doing this. It's a good idea to maybe use a little bit of water and just slop it onto your nice, soft, smooth dick so that it doesn't dry out. Just literally slop it on like that. Take your time and hold it in the middle like that to make it nice and hard. Perfect.
I mean, I didn't make this video, but am I going to hell just for even showing it to you guys on stream? Probably.
There you go, just slap that and then give it a twist and squeeze that cock. Just gently stroking it, just to make it sticky. This is great fun to do. You just don't know what's going to happen next. Look at that. That really is quite rock hard. And now you're ready to come. Here we go. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Open up the mouth. Ready for this? 3, 2, 1. Yuck. Try it yourself.
Oh, try it yourself. Oh, no. Oh, dear me. Right. Thank you, Lobrotovich, for finding that. The Scouse accent makes it, TBH, says C. Bennett. Yeah, I reckon so. Probably banned from Twitch, at the very least, for playing that video, but whatever. Too late. Sexual content. Good. So, we could even get banned from YouTube when the VOD goes up. No, we won't get banned, but we'll see what happens. So, there we go. I did Stephen's things. Then everyone was saying, oh, I remember trying not to laugh during ceramics demonstrations at high school. Too many innuendos, says Forgotten Media. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in need of urgent help. I got Animal Crossing for my birthing day, and need a perfect TJ Walrus clan adjacent name. What do I call it, TP?
Your birthing day. Let me just catch up on alerts and I'll give you an answer. Ahoy friends, I'm excited for some art. Says the first time chatter, Drew, with about 60 O's on it. That's great. Hello, welcome. Thank you for chatting, Drew. By the way, we got level 2 on the hype train as well. So it's been a productive introduction, I would say. Welcome, Drew, to the chat and to the community. Jail for TP for self-dealing. Well played, TP. Just reading all this chat. People really enjoying the Neil Buchanan video. If you think Neil Buchanan is sexy, go watch Spanish Art Attack. Oh, I know. I think Ben watched Spanish Art Attack once. He talked about it on Podiots. Then we had 100 bits from Odie Lars. She says, I'm in need of urgent help. I got Animal Crossing for my birthing day. It actually says bithing day. And need a perfect TG Walrus Clan adjacent name. What do I call it? TP. Now, I haven't played Animal Crossing. What is the name that you want? Is it for your character or is it for, like, your village? What are we naming? That will help us give you an informed and good answer. I'm just going to turn the heating off because it's exceptionally warm in here now. There we go. Very good. And now it's probably time to do a little bit of art. In fact, one thing I need to do first is just grab a file that I've sent myself that I'm going to share with you guys, which actually involves logging into Facebook on this computer, because I sent it to myself on Messenger, just making sure I'm not like sharing my screen with my Facebook page, which no one may ever see or access in the community, because it's got pictures of me from when I was like 14 in my school uniform, and I don't want anyone to ever see that. Good. So, Messenger, here we go. And then I've got this link. If, in fact, could I ask one or more mods to kind of keep this link on their clipboard, or just like open Notepad, just so you've got the link handy in case anyone turns up halfway through the stream and would like a copy of this link. I should have sent it to you guys on Discord beforehand, but whatever. I'll paste it in chat now. This, ladies and gents, is a PNG, which has alpha, it has transparency on it, of the frame that we use on Worst Games Ever. So that is now yours to keep forever. I made an Imgur account, or Imgur, whichever you want to say, but the logo is a giraffe, isn't it? So that's why I think it might be Jur. I made an account just to upload that. So don't bother following. I don't know if you can follow accounts on Imgur, but if you can, I'm not going to be using it. So don't be like, oh, here's TP's account. I wonder what other images he's going to be posting in the coming months and years. I won't be. I used to browse that site until like 2 o'clock in the morning when I was a student. I would lie in bed looking at all the like, what is it, like honest, good advice duck memes and scumbag Steves and things like that. I don't know what the duck one was called, but the awkward social penguin thing. Oh, takes me back. Peter, you were never 14. Don't lie to us, says Lucy B. No, maybe I was born sort of 60. So there we go. In the chat, you can go to, and I'll read it out actually for anyone watching on the VOD. So it's imgur or imgur.com, that's imgur.com / lowercase a / and I think it is case sensitive, lowercase r, uppercase a, lowercase fki, and then that's either a lowercase l or an uppercase I, and then there's a lowercase a after that. So the second last letter, you'll have to try both. I don't know which one it is, because a lot of fonts make those completely indistinguishable from each other. So it's either a big I or a small l. But there you go. If you're watching on the VOD, you can also access the frame that is required. So there you go. We're all prepped now. Except me, because I've not downloaded it on this computer. So let me just quickly save as. Good. So I'll probably start doing a little bit of art now, and then we'll go and do the. I've not brought the sniper music back on, have I? The background music. That's a shame. Here it is. I muted it for Neil Buchanan, and it never came back. We'll start on doing some art right now, and then we will probably do some gallery from last month, look at everything that everyone drew last month, and in the meantime between then and now, and then we'll finish off and do a bit more of this art. But so I'm going to walk you through now what I do when I am doing a Worst Games Ever photo. So let me pop us on this screen. Here we are. So those of you who are playing along digitally at home should have access now to this image. The checkerboards, for those of you who aren't familiar with photo editing, the checkerboard here means it's transparent. you'll see that as I zoom in and out, the squares don't change size because they're not really there. So, I mean, I've done Photoshop plenty of times before on the art streams, but so I've put a layer underneath. So if you look on the right of the screen where my mouse is, that's the layer with the Worst Games Ever frame. And then if I go underneath that with a layer and get like the brush out, you'll see, look, it gets covered up down. Oh, hello, there we go. It gets covered up there. See, we're not painting over it. We're going behind that thing. Same up here. So that's just how that works if you're completely new to Photoshop. Good. So this is the basic place where we start off with Worst Games Ever. And then typically what I will do in a game, in an episode, is I will scrub through our footage. So pretty much every thumbnail you've seen of Worst Games Ever, the images from that are taken directly from the capture that we did. Occasionally, in very specific circumstances, like for example when we did Mass Effect, I don't even know if I made the thumbnail for Mass Effect, but we did Mass Effect Andromeda at Vidiots, I think, and that thumbnail is actually just filled with like the meme faces of like, you know, the woman like doing that and, you know, things like that. So yeah, now and then we'll use stuff like that, but normally it's come directly from our capture. But I thought what could be extra fun today is not to do, well, I'm not going to do a real game, right? So you guys can do any real game that you want to if you would like to do a Worst Game Ever, either a game that we've covered or a game we haven't covered, but a real game that you think is bad. Or, like me, you could make up a fake game. So I'm going to use Pixabay, which has a load of interesting video game style images, especially if you search for the word render, which I'm just going to do now. So yeah, perfect. Immediately, let me bring this across. So here we go. If I scroll down, I mean, that already is a bit like a character from a video game, but hello, back. How do I go back? All right, I'll flip in F11 it then. I just thought it's a bit cleaner not to have this bar up here, but as soon as I take it away, I can't navigate. But like down here, for example, I mean, look at this. This is like from an actual video game. I mean, it's not. It's something that someone has made in a in like a 3D, you know, modeling software. But you know, this could be perfect. So we've got all sorts of stuff here. You don't have to use like CG style images if you don't want to, but you can do. So I'm gonna like not only make a thumbnail for a game that doesn't exist, but I'm also going to, so normally in Worst Games Ever, down here in the bottom left is the actual box art of the game. So what I'm going to do is also digitally make a box art of a fake game and then put that box art into the Worst Games Ever thumbnail, and then we're going to make a thumbnail as though we've covered that game on Worst Games Ever. Should be a bit of fun, I think. So the one other thing I need to do in that case is pull up a PS2 box art template, of which there are many all over the internet. If you just Google PS2 box art template, go to Google Images, and then if you go on Tools, you can make it a large image. I know you guys can't see what I'm doing, but I'm just going to quickly let me open this in a new tab. In fact, I'll just share this image with you guys if you want. This is a if I copy the image address, but you'll be able to find stuff. Oh wow, that is an enormous link, but let me just double check it's like safe. Actually ends in JPEG and then has a load of stuff after that. And if I can find, where does it end in JPEG? I just saw, oh there, and there's a question mark and then a load of stuff after it. And I might not need any of that if I'm lucky. No, that's ruined it. Okay, never mind. I'll just send you the really big image URL then. This, long and ugly as it is. Oh no, that doesn't even work. I've just clicked on that and it doesn't work. But How can I share this with you? Just go to Google Image. Hang on. I'll show you how I've done it. Let me pull this across. So I've searched PS2 box art template, and then if you go to tools here, you can say I only want large images, and then it's just this first one here. Click on it here. It opens it in a new tab. Make it big and copy it. I mean, I don't think you have to actually make it big to do that, but copy and then go into Photoshop, File, New. It should bring up this window, but it's done it on a different monitor for me. And by default, it'll try and make an image that is exactly the size of the thing in your
Mortal
clipboard.
Kombat 5.
Oh my god, Mortal Kombat, that's great. So I only want about this much of it though. I'm not going to do the back of the box as well. In fact, we don't use the spine either when we do Worst Games Ever on box art, so that's even easier. So, image, crop. So there we go. I've now got this. If I get rid of this background, I think this has transparency. It might not, but if it doesn't, it's very easily remedied. No, it doesn't, because it's white and it would be checkerboard otherwise. That's fine. I will just go over here. No, sorry, go here. I use the magic wand rather than quick select, because if you put the tolerance down to like 1, it will only select stuff of that exact color, which has done a pretty good job. Look, it's gone right flush with there and there. So that is pretty much spot on. If I delete that, sorted. So we've now got a mature PS2 game here, and I'm gonna have some fun just coming up with, you know, a silly game, and you guys can do the same. You know, you try it yourself, do your own games at home, but I am gonna maybe scroll through. I mean, the temptation is to immediately start, like, you know, just whatever you see, to just take like the first thing that you see, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna scroll a little bit. We've got dragons, we've got princesses, we've got a ghost. Remember, I've searched for the word render here, which generally speaking will come up with stuff that is like, someone is like 3D modeled. So it's gonna, oh, that's a naked man. There's a naked man up there in the top left. There will be, there's a bit of nudity on Pixabay, and all we can do is maybe just stop scrolling, Peter. Maybe just stop, and we'll just hope that we don't see any more. Did you guys see the naked man? Did anyone see him? Anyone catch the naked man there at the top? What I'll do, actually, I wonder if I can I? Yes, there's a safe search box. Oh, cool, that's done it. I've ticked safe search. Okay, so up here, there's safe search. You can tick that. It's made the naked man was here, and he's gone now, which is excellent news. It may well have like also removed 1 or 2 images that aren't actually naughty, but you know, you can't win them all, can you? So look at all these fake video game characters we can choose from. The possibilities are limited, but not entirely so. We've got a witch. Oh, these are great. See, I'm spoilt for choice here now. I'm curious to see what you guys choose, what you come up with. We're going to brand it. We're going to come up with a title. There's like a Bigfoot there. That's great. I would play any game about Bigfoot. If I copy that, I'll show you what Photoshop does, which is really annoying, and I don't know why this... Well, I do. It's not really Photoshop's fault. When you copy a PNG... oops. When you copy a PNG and paste it into Photoshop, it fills in all the alpha with black, which is really annoying. It's because it essentially, I believe it in copying and pasting, it actually converts it into a JPEG, and JPEGs don't have alpha in them, which is the transparency. Yeah, okay, cool. So I can, instead, you can just click free download on Pixabay, download it, say yes, you're not a robot. And as long as you don't pick the biggest size, it will just instantly download. If I bring this over here, so it's downloaded down here. See down here my downloads, and if you just click and drag, you can just drop it straight in. So I think we should do a video game where you play as, oh, jeez, a really big Yeti. Not that big. I mean, already this looks a bit like a PS2 box art, I would say. Let's put him in the background. Maybe make him a little bit narrower. Don't really like the way he's got his arm. How's this arm? No, it's just the same. Good. So there we go. Is this like Goatsim but for Yetis? Says jelly-filled M Panda. Well, we're making it up as we go along, quite frankly. It could be like that. It could be exactly that, or it could be something else. How do I? Oh no, my. Hello. There we go. Got it. It went a bit off my monitor there. So I'm having a Yeti protagonist. Perhaps he, I mean, you know, who knows what happens in this game. I don't know what he's doing. Don't know what the game's called. Just sort of seeing what we've got. Oh, we've got these goblins and things. These are great. A lot of fantasy characters. I imagine they're all done by the same artist. I mean, now I'm tempted by the goblins actually, but that's fine. I'm going to stick with the Yeti. That's like an ice dragon. My headphones are rattling against my. Oh, that's like an evil version. It's a werewolf there, apparently. Not that I know what a werewolf looks like. Oh, can we put a Christmas hat on him? Would that suit him? Is it at a good angle? Yes, it could be. Let me just check one more time that there's nothing, that the default save location isn't anywhere bad. Click palm trees. I'm not a robot. Oh, no, it's fine. It's not asking me where to save it. It's not interested. It doesn't give me the choice. Cool. I'm going to put this hat on him. I remember there's a Troy McClure. Troy McClure, you may remember me, piece of media known simply as Christmas Ape, and the sequel, Christmas Ape Goes to Summer Camp. And I always really liked that one. I mean, I like them all, but just the idea, like, it's such an, when you just have the name Christmas Ape, you can kind of, it sounds like something that someone might come up with, but because all you get from Troy McClure is the name Christmas Ape, the original, and the sequel, Christmas Ape Goes to Summer Camp, and then it's obviously never referred to ever again in The Simpsons or anywhere else. I just really like that, like, no one will ever know exactly what Christmas Ape is. So I've always found that kind of low-key one of the funniest Troy McClure references, you know, you may remember me from. So I'm tempted now maybe to just make Christmas Ape.
Yeah.
I think that could be pretty fun.
Why did they make that one Muppet out of leather?
Oh my God, why did they make that one Muppet out of leather? Were we scrolling past one? Is that what you mean? Or is that, do you think the ape looks like one? Oh, that could be a Muppet. I mean, it's sort of lost on me, Odilazis, because we've looked at that many things that could be leather Muppets that I now don't know what you're referring to, but that's fine. I'm now making the box art to Christmas Ape, or maybe Christmas Ape Goes to Summer Camp, because that would give us a bit more of an interesting background. So let's do that. This hat doesn't quite match the kind of lighting and saturation and stuff of Mr. Ape himself, so I'm gonna maybe lower the exposure a bit, or maybe the gamma is a bit off as well. It's a bit better, and then I think maybe it's also a bit oversaturated too. Something like that. That's sort of, you've got the whites kind of matching each other there. I'm then going to put a little bit of a, I was going to say put a drop shadow under it. I can't just apply one as an effect because then it'll have like shadow underneath different bits. So what I'm going to do is literally underneath the hat, I'm actually just going to draw a shadow in myself. Go down here. So this is kind of the, I mean, this is not the process here and now of making a worst games ever thumbnail. There we go. Put a little bit of shadow in there. So you see I've drawn shadow and it's gone off the edge of the ape now. But if I go down here and right click and say create clipping layer, which is here, that's only going to apply what I've drawn on this layer. It will only show any drawing if it's overlapping stuff on the bottom layer, which is good because it means I can draw shadow all over Christmas ape and not worry about accidentally drawing shadow into the behind. Now you might think that looks a bit weird as shadow. Yes, it does. Don't worry, I'm not finished. I'm going to blur it a little bit, stick a little Gaussian blur on it, just to soften it. It should be, there we go, it should be previewing. So already we've got a bit of a much softer shadow there. Good. And then if I maybe stick it on, I don't know, if we just multiply, maybe it was already, that's probably not going to make much difference because it's pure black, but there we go. And then maybe just a little bit, move it down and to the right. So this, I don't know, this might make the hat look like it's kind of very much overlaid on top of him, like it's been slapped down. Maybe I need to just bring the whole thing up and away. Hello? Give me the hat. Give me the shadow. Well, yeah, that's what I thought. What are you talking about? There we go, that's better. Yeah, maybe if I just bring it so we can, there's barely even any there. Problem is as well, when you're going through this process of like making stuff look hopefully good-ish, as you're watching it change bit by bit, as you're moving stuff around, you can kind of, you don't always know if it looks good anymore because you kind of watched it change. Don't know, I want a kind of a soft, not sure. I mean, I'm kind of overthinking it really, but oh, that's sticky keys. I don't want that. I was mashing the Alt button by accident. Yeah, maybe just that. Just a subtle bit of shadow. You know, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that much. Christmas ape, he looks great. So here we go. Let me just catch up a little bit. We had 45 bits from Odie Lazarus, who says, that's not a leather Muppet, it's Troy McClure. Muppets Go Medieval is clearly the best McClure vehicle. Oh, I see, yeah. You're right, you're bang on with the Princess Piggy. 5 bits from Plushy Labs Jennykin, who says, it's always winter but never Christmas until Christmas Ape returns. You're right. Thank you, Jennykin, for the bits. So we're doing Christmas Ape. That's what's happening. No, we're doing Christmas Ape Goes to Summer Camp. So I'm going to move all of this down a little bit because I want to do Summer Camp in the background. I want us to be able to see the summer camp. In fact, yeah, maybe let's have him just more in the middle. He looks like he's running there as well, actually, because of the angle I've got him at. He obviously wasn't running in the original image, but I think that works pretty well. So I'm now going to go back to Pixabay, and for now, we're going to move away from the renders. We might want another render or two of like a villain in the background or something. But for now, if I put summer camp, is that going to be enough, or is it going to be? Is that really going to throw it off? I mean, maybe this. Or maybe just a nice background like that, rather than an actual camp. Just him in the woods, just being an ape. Or maybe that. It's a bit on the nose, but let me just check, actually. Let's see if we can get, because there were a lot of fantasy things on that where I'd search for render. Oh, I've got caps lock on. Yeah, I just wondered whether there might be like tents and stuff. Because it's quite a fantasy thing to have, isn't it? And it would be good if we could get it in the same kind of CG style, rather than have like an actual photo of a forest in the background. But it's fine if not. What is going on here? Oh my God. That's bad. That's really bad. I'm going to use this. I'm probably not actually going to use the characters in it. I might just blow it up, but that's quite a nice background. I'm not a robot. Stop asking me if I'm a robot. I mean, this is pretty weird as well. But yeah, even if I just actually use that middle bit, just for the CG forest, that's kind of what I want. What is this? Strange. We had a year there from Rob DW24 with 100 bits who says, "This is my first time seeing anal live. Please be gentle, TP." Oh, well, if it's your first time with anal, it is always worth being gentle, and don't worry, it will be as gentle as you like. Is this kind of CG-ish? It is a bit, but it's probably not the kind of forest you'd go to summer camp in. I think we're good. I think we're good with bear-G. Oh, wow. That's either... Sometimes Photoshop just pastes stuff into an image really small, even though the original image size is like way bigger. Anyway, this is a background, so even if it looks a little bit blurry when I've scaled it up, it's fine because, I mean, she could even be like just a character in the background, that person. Why not? Let me just see what it looks like. Oh no, that's a clipping there. I don't want it to look like she's attacking Christmas Ape because I think he's at summer camp. No, maybe we just use the background rather than the actual. Oh, I don't know though. Like if I make it too big, you can't even tell. I think maybe she's gonna have to be in the background, but it's like she's an accompanying character. You know, like when you just see stuff in the background of game box arts, doesn't necessarily mean she's trying to shoot Christmas Ape. I don't think she is trying to shoot Christmas Ape. She's there. She's his friend. I'm gonna merge all this together now because I don't think I'm gonna want to like mess around with any of it. So it was a bit of a risk, just like rasterizing everything down like that, but whatever. I'm gonna do it because I want to work on all of it. I mean, you can just shove it all in a folder if you want to apply like effects. But sometimes I just like to flatten a load of layers down, not worry too much about it. I want to make his darks darker, maybe his lights lighter, and this is like the midpoint because it's quite a high contrast background image there. Maybe his lights are fine actually, but he just needs to be darkened a bit in his dark places. So that's Christmas Ape's friend whose eyes are shut. Oh no, they're not. They're just blue and pale and weird. If I actually bring her up so she is more of a background character, then obviously I'm left with all this gap here, and it's like, oh, no, PT, you can't do that. Well, yes, I can, because actually, Photoshop is kind of an amazing tool. If I highlight all of that stuff that is blank, and if I hit Shift and F5, that's Shift and F5, I will discover that this version of Photoshop is not the same as mine. Okay, well, I'll do it differently then. Where is it? Fill. Oh, why can't, is it because, okay, it's because it's a, okay, I'll rasterize, there we go. That might be it. Shift and F5, that's done it now. So it brings up this window here. And if you have it on Content Aware, which is the default, then when you hit OK, it calculates for a little moment, and then it just knows what to put in there. Now, it's not a magic, you know, catch-all thing, but look at that. It's just filled that in. And you can kind of see, so you see up here, this, and then down there, that's actually the same few kind of dots and stuff. Because that's how it does it really. It like looks for stuff, you know, elsewhere in the image, nearby in the image, and it uses that to fill in the gaps. But, you know, same down here as well. You can see some like repeated leaves and stuff, but only if you're really, really looking. So we were able to move her a little bit. This is, as much as anything else, this is a bit of a crash course in Photoshop a little bit. I might put a little bit of, no, I won't put a bit of shadow on him yet. So maybe Christmas Ape needs to be a little bit smaller. The more I think about it, the more I think this woman is going to be distracting. We could really test the limits of content-aware fill and try and like just completely fill her out, and just see what happens. It almost certainly will not look very nice. Just quickly going to grab her, including her shadow, because we don't want to leave her shadow behind. We'll leave the tree in and see if it can fill in some tree, which sometimes it can do if you give it enough information. You want to select like the minimum. I'm going to just forget the bowstring, I can sort that out myself. You want to give it like as little as, well, you just want to select what you're trying to get rid of. If you like select the whole, if I could put a big square around it and try to fill that in, it would not like it. Let's see what it does. Okay, that's because I'm on the wrong layer. But you see how that just filled it in with Christmas ape fur, because it just knew what Christmas ape fur looks like. Okay, honestly, that could have been way worse. We know that something has been taken out of there, and we can kind of see. But I mean, I could even try and grab that, a little copy of that, move that over here, and kind of just sort of a bit manually fill this in myself as well. See, then I would get like an eraser. This is the way I do things in Photoshop. You know, everyone's got their own techniques, but like if you just have a really soft-edged eraser there, you can't, you know, I've got rid of the seam and you can't really see it anymore. I think this trunk is needs to be a bit wider, but I mean, immediately that looks like pretty good, doesn't it? It's because there's a lot of like, you know, funny edges and stuff in all this foliage. I believe it's pronounced foliage, actually. That like you're able to just kind of do a bit of light erasing, and it doesn't actually look that bad. I think it helps that we're working with some real natural edges here. Going to get a bit of a harder eraser just while we're dealing with this leaf here, and then I'll soften it up again. See, as things go, that's not a bad job of getting rid of that lady, I would say. I think we've done all right there. There's a bit of bowstring. I'm going to immediately just merge those together. It doesn't have to be perfect. Flipping heck, this screen is really difficult to, there's down there. And then here's another tool that's handy. Where is it? This one, spot healing brush. If you just want to like, it's the same technology as the content aware, but if I just draw over that line, it just knows what I'm trying to say. So like this dot here, for example, if I do that, it'll just get rid of the dot rather than replace the whole circle that I'm drawing. See? Well, it actually does replace the whole circle, but in a clever way. So you can use that too. See, some of you maybe have never used Photoshop before. You can use like this tool to kind of neaten up where you've joined stuff together as well. You can kind of tell that this is been messed with a little bit, but it's not that bad. Some of you probably never use Photoshop. I mean, mostly I suspect because it's flipping expensive, and like, why would you? Oh, look at this really hard line here that I've not dealt with. I mean, that could be worse. Like I say, it's very forgiving doing it on trees and stuff because, yeah. You might never have used Photoshop because you think like, oh well, I don't get it. You know, I would struggle with it and stuff. And I mean, yeah, it's not actually that difficult to use. It does a lot of the work for you.
Peter erases women from games stream.
Indeed. Yeah. Hey, why aren't there more men in games? That's my question. You know, bring back male characters. When was the last time you saw a male video game protagonist? That's my question. I'm just getting rid of some of these stalks as well so that the grass around this tree isn't identical to the grass around this tree. Again, it doesn't really matter. This is like a stupid flipping Christmas ape video game box art that I'm doing for you guys who are here with me in this process and know that I've copied one tree to the next. But all the same, I want it to look okay. Thank you to Rob again for 100 more bits. I very much appreciate those bits there. And you say, welcome to Tiny Peter Raises Women from Games. Indeed, yeah. Get rid of those women, right? Let me just see what the chat's been saying, because I've been quite focused on looking at the art, talking you through what I'm doing. I went to school with content-aware Phil. Very good, Jennykin. I like that one. That's one of the better ones I've heard recently. So, rest in peace, Christmas Ape's girlfriend. She's gone. It's Peter. How are you, wonderful lad? I'm very well, thank you. How are you? Christmas Ape is no longer protected. I miss Christmas Ape's GF. Hey, we can give Christmas Ape a different GF, but I just didn't like the fact that she was taking up quite a lot of space. Because I'm going to have to write the words Christmas Ape up here, and then I'll probably put goes to summer camp in like small text. So we're running out of real estate, really, is the issue. So I was a bit concerned. But hey, we'll sort it out. And thank you to Fancy Pants Tornado. Can't stay, but wanted to say hi to TP and the Walrus Clan on my sub-anniversary. 2 months on a 2-month streak. Well, thank you, Fancy Pants Tornado, for sticking with us. For 2 months. That's very good of you, and I hope you're with us for much longer into the future as well. So we've made a good start on Christmas Ape. I know we've not even begun on the actual thumbnail process, but I did say that we would do the. I like how it's mature, this game. Big fan of that. We would do the gallery at some point. So I'm going to prep the gallery. Which is good. Hashtag TJ Art down there. That is the hashtag. Anything that has been hashtagged on TJ Art since the last stream, including the last stream, art stream, we're going to look at now. That's what we do. We look at each gallery every month and see what people have submitted. And you can submit stuff after an art stream has ended, and it will be shown on the next week's gallery. I keep saying week. It's a monthly show, but you know what I mean. We share the hashtag with a primary school and with people who do art of Tom Jones. So just, maybe be like respectful and careful around the hashtag. No one actually owns a hashtag, but I'm just sort of conscious of the fact that I came up with TJ Art as a hashtag and it is shared by a primary school. So, we've got to just make sure that we are good people. So I am going to pull up Twitter. I kind of miss the old gallery system that I used to use where I would download all the art and I had like a nice handy dandy scene. This one. But instead of Fred's pushes, Betfred, and Lalna from Yogscast, it would have hang on, it would be, I can't, to be right, I have to set it back up again, but it would just have like a nice big white box with the images in. The reason I stopped doing that is because there is sometimes important context in people's tweets, And I was missing that when I was downloading all the images and just showing them locally on my PC. So that's why. And I just use a browser in a bit of an ugly way, but I feel like in some ways it works better. Oh my God, people have already been busy with this week's assignment, which is very exciting. Oh my Lord. Okay, you guys have done a great job already. Right, let me scroll down.
Asked if you bid on Unholy War cards.
Rob, thank you for the bits. Asked if I bid on the Unholy War cards. Lobrotovich, you are now looking at the proud owner of those Unholy War cards. I was going to message you about it, actually. I meant to say, hey, I won. I was a bit concerned that there might be a few snipers waiting, and no one else bid on it. There was that one person who bid right at the start. I wondered whether Lobrotovich was going to bid. Did you bid, Lobrotovich? Well, I mean, I don't think you did. I'm pretty sure you didn't, because it was sitting on like $5. The opening bid by someone a while ago, and then I placed my bid when there was like 30 seconds left to go, and I won. So maybe other people actually bid as well, but I outbid everyone. I don't know. But hey, I'll post those on social media when they arrive. But yeah, it's an item. For context, this is an item that Lobrotovich and I both found on eBay, and then I was thinking of even messaging Lord B about it, being like, what do you think of these? These look a bit weird. And then he messaged me and said, look, have you seen these? Do you think they're legit? And I was like, I have seen them. And at first I was like, I don't think they are legit, but actually I think they are. Especially given that Lobrotovich then reached out to the seller and found out a little bit more about them. But it's very exciting. I just want more of them. I want a full set. And I don't know if that is the full set or if they did one for every character, but anyway. You've got me talking about Unholy War now. Congratulations. So, the last stream, I believe, was on February the 14th-ish. So, here we go. This seems to be where it all begins. We've got hashtag GTA 5, Dolly Parton, and Fine is Not Fine, former Miss Ireland, convoy of it. Oh dear me, it's all, let's not ignore that it's happening day to day, but maybe just for an hour or two, let's just have we're fortunate, we're all in very fortunate positions that we can have an hour or two where we just sit and watch a live stream, aren't we? But that is the fact, and as long as we're aware of that and grateful of that, and that we do our bit to help others if and when we can, that's all you can do, isn't it? So, keeping it light, Cameron J. Keywood did this fantastic Spyro art. I don't know if I saw this last time, did I? Maybe I did, I'm not sure, but certainly now it gets its due presence on screen. Here you go, Cameron Keywood, well done, this is fantastic. Big fan of that. We've got Sparks as well. Sorry, Mr. Austin, sir, there's no way I could pull off the beautiful landscape. Oh yeah, we were doing landscapes last month, that was it. So we've got Bill Gates saying, I should buy this place. This was Lobrotovich's landscape. We did landscapes and then we did NFT chimps. That's what I was expecting, NFT chimps, and it's not all NFT chimps. Donna Chapman did this. It's a local country park. It's very nice. Looks a lot lighter in the photo. Ah, that's lovely. Nice colours. Big fan of that. Big tree. Big tree. Falmouth University submitted this. MA Marketing and Digital Communications Online, apply now. Well, thank you, Falmouth, for that. Fred Duai Goliath. This is the source photo, and this is the actual drawing. It's very good. I think I said this at the time. It's the kind of thing that would make it onto the gallery wall on Smart because of your use of light and silhouette. And Mark Spate would be very proud of this one. I can hear him now. Grimsby Dock Tower from my hometown. Well, that's lovely. Well done, Duai Goliath. Oh, this is good. This is Langdale Lake District by Deadeye Minis. I love the lakes. I want to go back. It's been a while since I've been. It's where I got engaged, and I had a lovely time there, and I need to return. Age 7, apparently not 37. That's wonderful, and I totally see the shapes and textures that you intended there. This is Pepper by Charlie Von Karma. You don't know how to do a non-fungible Tomby token. So instead, it's the Final J's Lovely Cat Pepper. And it's fantastic. Well done, Charlie Von Karma. Big fan of this. Could the hashtag not be TTJ art? I mean, it could, but at this point, I just feel we're committed, you know? I could change the hashtag very easily, but, you know, it's fine. Doesn't matter that we share it. Steven Skodes, then, these are some photos of what we drew. Here's a Wadders and Grombot NFT pairing. I love these.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't know why. Oh, hello.
Happy 420 BBBB blazed my dudes Lord 16 dab.
Are you guys
Since we
hearing
are doing
that?
some worst games art, I bring to you some of the worst jokes according to iNews. Why did the golfer change his pants? Because
Can you
he
hear
put
the
a hole
fuzz?
in one.
Or is it just my headphones?
Does anyone need a knock? I know a guy. Hi E. What do you call a can opener that doesn't work? A can't opener. Ho ho ho. You know what the loudest pet you can get is? A trumpet.
Anyone in the chat? Does that sound really
What do you call
horrible
a
and
factory
crackly
that
to you?
sells
Okay,
passable
at least it
products?
sounds alright for you
A
guys.
satisfactory.
Jesus. Oh, I missed all the jokes because it was like the River Severn, but worse. It was like horrible static, but only with when she was speaking. It's 420, everyone. BBB blaze it, my dudes, Moggy, etc. Moggy fuzz. I'll read those again because I missed them all. They are worst jokes because it's worst games ever. This is according to iNews. We've got clashing music there, but whatever. Deal with it. Why did the golfer change his pants? Because he got a hole in one. Does anyone need an arc? I know a guy. He. What do you call a can opener that doesn't work? A can't opener. Ho ho ho. You know what the loudest pet you can get is? A trumpet. What do you call a factory that sells passable products? A satisfactory. I mean, I've heard worse jokes, to be honest. Are those supposed to be the worst jokes ever? They're not that bad. Your mic did momentarily go earlier, says C. Bennett. Okay, that's weird. That's strange. So, I love this. This is Wadders and Grombot. If I didn't feel the need to have my actual face as my profile picture on Twitter for kind of job purposes as much as anything else, I think it's useful to actually have my face. I'd have one of these, or both of them. Maybe cover photo, I don't know. But, you know, I see your NFTs, everyone on Twitter, with your hexagon avatars, and I raise you Mr. Black's 2 monkeys, Wadders and Grombot. This is a fungusable token. I fungibled a bored ape. It's by Adi Pramana. It's very good. Me, and then there's 3 llamas. This is by X Pink Glasses. TripleJump in a sort of yellow Vidiots Post Some Tap van. And look, there's 2 boys. Don't know which one is me and which one's Mikey, but one of them must be Mikey. So it's a shared universe. Don't save this PNG. I'll tell the internet police, says Billy. Very good. Oh, these were great. Joe Blank said I made my own FTs, the potatoes. Millions of pounds, please. I would definitely have a potato. Look, they're all drooling, but you can have like the tough guy pirate one. You can have the space one. You can have the swag one. The basic one. You could have like a gold-plated one. You could have one that looks like looks like a bored ape, maybe. They're great. Then Ladbrokes posted some fantastic art. Then we had this by Donna Chapman. That's pretty good. The low eyelids is what you need to go for, and that's what most people manage to do very well. That's really good. To do that by hand is much better than I could do. I managed it all right on with actual paints, but with pencil, I think I'd fall apart. Oh, then we had this by Diazunas, which is all kinds of references to worst games ever. There are just a billion of them, and we went through them on the previous stream, and I daren't even try. Watercolor layers take a long time to dry, says Sprout Stuff. This is beautiful. This is the kind of thing, my mum would love this. Again, I might have even said that on the previous stream, but this is the kind of thing my mum has in her house. That's great. Well done. This is horrid. This is Cameron Keywood's NF Me. I drew the face and background before. Fancy doing that to yourself. Why do you hate yourself so much? No, it's fine. It looks great. I like the perspective as well. Hey, Mark Spate would be proud. That's what I'm saying for that one. This is a little pencil sketch of a, I say sketch, it's an excellent drawing of, or it might even be pen, I think it's pencil, of the Bored Ape. It's got a ring, earring, it's got a copter cap, whatever those are called. It's by Becky Fordham, and it's brilliant. It still needs colouring in. Well, if you colour it in, Becky, you can post it to #TJArt, and we'll look at it on the gallery today or next month. This is a not very Bored Ape, the TripleJump Ape. It's the one from Ape Escape by Steven Skodes. It's very good. We've got just a photo of Sprout Stuff's ape. Did I do it right? His name is Gregor. Oh, Gega, or Jegga. It's very good. Lobrotovich did an art of him right-clicking my NFT and saving as. You can't. It's non-fungible. Stop it. Oh, there we go. Becky coloured it in. Oh, and it's even better. You've got the actual multicolored hat. You've got the fleshy face. You've got the grey fur. It's brilliant. Well done, Becky. More potatoes. Here they are as a collage. Oh, that's all one image. It's fantastic. Well done, Joe. Big fan of the potatoes. Everyone wants a potato avatar. It's pen, says Resident B, or Bay B. It is pen. There we go. Thank you. Then we had Gerrit, or Jarrett Coulter, who is doing the continued adventures of Hombot. Beep. Wife turns left at upcoming street. Hombot has special plan for children today. Beep. This can't be good. Where is he taking us? I wish Homie would just tell me where we're going. Hombot takes the family to... Beep. Lisa Girl and Bart Boy have fun on giant water slide. Beep. A water park. Oh, well, I thought that was going to get like really sinister and he was going to take them to some sort of, I don't know, an abattoir or something, but no. So thank you for that. Gerrit/Jarrett Coulter, if you're in the chat, let me know how to pronounce your name, because we say it, well, don't say it wrong, but we say it both ways every time on the podcast. Oh, why am I getting horrible noises when it's... I'm just going to have to deal with it, I think. You guys aren't getting horrible fuzz and buzz from the alerts, but I'm just going to have to listen to it, I suppose. Gerrit, it's me. There we go. Now I know. So here we have a worst games ever for Skylanders. Didn't want to bash the game itself, so I focused on the character design instead. Fair enough, yeah. Worst Spyro ever. Oh, there you go. It says it up there. Fantastic. Some of you have already pretty much finished your submissions. Oh, this is great. I've arrived a bit late. I'm not sure what's going on. So here's a Spyro from January. Oh, Becky Fordham's sort of catching up on art, and that is fantastic. That's one of the best ones. If you think about all the ones we had, this is great. Oh, I love that. 29th of January, 22. So you're like a... So you're catching up on previous art streams. That is wonderful. I really like that. People in the chat are enjoying it too. Oh my Christ. Oh no. Okay. Don't forget, everyone. Has anyone done it? Yes, some people have done it. The box art should go in the bottom left as well. We'll get to that when I finally do my thumbnail. In Mr. Black's case, he's talking about Spyro, not a game, so he doesn't need the box art. He's got Spyro's head down here. But we'll be doing box art in the bottom left. So Jack Bradshaw has stuck with a Simpsons theme. Done two worst games thumbnails, in fact. Firstly, the worst games ever of the 80s game Lee Carvalho's putting challenge on the NES. Secondly, a worst games ever of the undiscovered GameCube game Journey to the Mod Basement. Now with scoring pencil, Lee Carvalho's putting challenge. You have selected Power Drive. I suggest Feather Touch. And there's me doing it, ready for my Power Drive. Ball is in parking lot. So what's for dinner in the mod basement tonight? Rat surprise snack box, of course. It's always the rat surprise snack box. Oh, that sounds pretty grim down there. Journey to the mod basement. There they are. In the basement. It's in the background there. It's on the GameCube, apparently. Sounds horrendous. Worst game ever. Well done, Jack. Did I name drop everyone? Yes, I have done so far. Then we've got All-Star Ashley, not Tadpole 7. Breaking Lent for this, so going to hell for a few reasons. Oh, why are you breaking Lent? Have you given up art for Lent? What have you given up for Lent? Tiny Peter's anal, the live stream, the game. And there I am, a really flattering freeze frame of me just looking. There's a Big the Cat, and that's actually from the screenshot from the stream. Try it yourself. Peter Paint on the Super Nintendo. He's down there, he's having a great time. Wow, that's horrendous. Ashley, if you're in the chat, let us know why you had to break Lent. Oh, I gave up social media. Oh, not a tadpole. I'm sorry for tempting you back to the wicked circle of Twitter. Shy Bees, what have I done? .png. Down Boy Down Part 2. Sit, damn it. That's wonderful and horrible. And I like that you have just taken the box art and then made it big for the in-game screenshot. But clearly, the developers of this game decided, hey, our box art is going to be an in-game, it's going to be taken directly from in-game, which not a lot of developers do. So you've done it. It might turn out that I just don't get to do a thumbnail in the end because I'm spending that long doing Christmas Ape the box art. I need to sort of wrap it up really. So I'm going to do some text. So I'm going to write Christmas Ape. I'm going to make this really big, as wide as the word Christmas. And then I'm going to put goes, oh, hang on, let me make it smaller before I start writing that, because otherwise it will be unmanageably big. To summer camp. Okay, that's fine. Make that the same width as well. I mean, I've not even chosen a font yet, so I don't know why I'm worrying about the widths yet. Then if I go to, oh, this is not my works. Hashtag not my workspace. Oh, where's the paragraph window? Is it paragraph I want? No, it's the other one. It's character. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, cool. Where's the leading? So move ape down to where it needs to be, and move summer camp up to where it needs to be. Again, I don't know why I'm doing all this because I'm about to change the font. I want Christmas Ape to be in a Christmassy font. I don't know what a Christmassy font is. I don't have any particular fonts downloaded on this computer. Although I kind of like that, but it's more of a Wild West kind of font. Oops, I just clicked one by accident. Could do Comic Sans. That one's tempting, but it's very overused. You see it a lot, don't you? Let me look at all the sort of bold ones. Christmas Ape goes to summer camp. Oh, what was that one? It's just a little bit, just a bit different. I don't know where my mouse was when it. There, just the way they've written ape there is kind of interesting, but maybe not. There's that one. There's this one. That's Impact. That's the meme font. Remember that? Remember the meme font? I'm just gonna pick. I mean, like I say, I'm limited. Normally, like I would maybe if I was doing something like this in a semi-serious way, I would like download an interesting font, but I'm limited to what is on here by default. And I'm gonna. Oh, that'll do. That's fine. I mean, again, it's slightly overused, but. So I'm going to highlight Christmas, make it as wide as ape. A phrase I never really thought I'd say. Boost the leading on it. Oh, come on, just do it for me, please. Oh, come on, right. Christmas ape goes to summer camp. Okay, that's good. And then it goes to summer camp. We'll make bigger. And maybe that should be in a slightly more, I mean, maybe not that font, but like... I don't know. I think maybe I do quite like this font. It's just suitably goofy, so... I came close to starting a Twitter account where I would just post like stupid, like rubbish, made-up games based on Pixabay images that I could find. I know there are already people who do accounts like that, and that's part of the reason why I didn't do it in the end. But
can we give it an 18 rating?
Can we give it an 18 rating? Well, it's rated M for mature already, so yeah, we could do. But it's 17 plus, so we're already there, Rob, really. But thank you for the bits. So Christmas ape should probably be in like red and green, shouldn't it? Because it's Christmassy. So a lot of these windows are opening up on my other monitor, so I have to drag them in so you guys can see what I'm doing. I just sort of have I don't want a very saturated green. Something like that. Christmas, and then ape, we'll make it kind of pinky red. Christmas ape, and then maybe goes to summer camp can be in white. So I'll bring that up there. And I'm going to shrink the whole thing down a little bit so it's out of the way of Christmas ape's stupid head and hat. And you might think, Peter, you can't really see that very well. And you're right, you can't, but there's a few things we can do first. One thing to just make it more interesting is go up to filter. Layer styles. And we are going to bevel it, which immediately just makes it look quite 3D. And it's just a really easy way of making your text look interesting. Look what it's done to the text down there. All it does is it adds a low light to the bottom and to like the sides, and it adds a highlight to the top. So it's like light is shining on it from above, and it's lighting up the top and casting a shadow on the bottom. I mean, you can actually change the direction, and you can choose where the lights are. Yeah, that's the idea, is that it's shining a light on it, and you can like change the depth. You can change the if you make it too big, obviously it looks really weird. But if you can change the size of the bevel. Might just make it a little bit bigger, 12, something like that. You can soften it, but I don't want to do that. I want it quite sharp. And then there's even like different bevel styles. Where are they? So you can have it like really chiseled like that, or you can have it chiseled soft, which sort of, I don't know, looks a bit weird. Maybe I'll have it chiseled hard, and then you can have like an outer bevel, which kind of, I think, adds to the outside. So where an image might end here, it then builds a bevel onto the edge. Whereas if it's an inner bevel, it builds the bevel into there. I think that's sort of what it's doing. I mean, I'm not trained in any of this. It's just, I've experimented over the many years I've been doing this, but there are all these different ways of doing it. I'm gonna have an inner bevel, gonna have it like that. I mean, immediately that just looks like way more professional, doesn't it? I mean, I'm not saying it looks like, you wouldn't submit this to, it's just a really, like, you can see there that that's a bit of a rubbish Photoshop job that someone's done in like 10 minutes, but it's just an easy way of like making something look good. But the green is still like not standing out against the green, and of course, why would it? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a probably a white shadow underneath it, although that's pretty... Yeah, something like this. At the moment it looks crap, but if I make it kind of sharp, but not. And then I'm gonna bring down that opacity. Maybe not. The problem is that that's white at the bottom, isn't it? So that's not going to stand out very well. Maybe it needs to be. I can just change the font down here to a different color. Maybe make it yellow. It's probably the easiest thing to do rather than mess around trying to get a good shadow color. So kind of a dull yellow. If I make it too much of a bright yellow, it's not going to stand out again against the white. But immediately, you know, that looks kind of all right, doesn't it? Like, there's, you know, it looks quite good. I don't know if I'm feeling that shadow, but maybe if I just dumb it down a little bit. It just needs to be bright enough. It's mainly for this green here, so if we just focus on that. I mean, I could even change the actual shade of this green too. That might help. If I make it, you know, brighter or darker, or yeah, maybe like that. That's probably something there. I mean, at this point now, actually, if I just, I mean, a black shadow might be better. Yeah, I mean, that is a lot better. Okay. Sometimes you just keep it simple and just use a black shadow. Normally I would use a black shadow, but I thought I'd be a bit clever there and try and use a white one and see what that did. But and you could add like texture and stuff here instead of just a big block color. But I think I really like these giant letters here. They're a bit Crash Bandicoot-y, actually, a bit Crash Bash. So here he is. Here's Christmas Ape. And I'm going to put the text on top of Christmas Ape so that he can be just a little bit behind it. And I don't know, at this point, I'm like, do I even need to add anything else? Maybe just something over his shoulder here. Just maybe another character from the game. So let's go back and let's look at our renders. And we'll just find someone who might be at summer camp with Christmas Ape. Maybe there's just like a little boy, you know, or a girl. I think maybe Christmas Ape would be friends with like a little Girl Scout in a kind of what was that show called that someone in a rare move, Peter Austin was stuck once upon a time on, oh look, there's a little fairy. This is great. Peter Austin was stuck for the name of a show that was a really vague, fuzzy memory from like early on in his lifetime, a kids' TV show. And I described it, and all I could say was that it was like a little girl, and she was a puppet kind of girl, and she lived with this big green kind of monster man who was nice. That's just me pulling up the video in question. And that's all I really knew. I was like, I remembered like 2 episodes of it, or like not even episodes, but just sort of the idea of it. I just remember that it exists. And someone came through for me in the chat once. It might have even been at Vidiot, and they said, hey, Peter, you're talking about the slow Norris 420 again. Here's the slow Norris for everyone. Pretty low quality version. Oh, that's horrid. The slow Norris. Green Claws is one that a lot of people offered to me. They said, oh, are you talking about Green Claws? I was like, no, I know it's not Green Claws. Wow, that suit looks amazing, says Plushy Labs Jennikin. It does, doesn't it? It's impressive. I mean, I think that's partly why I was so captivated by it I must have been very young when this came out to not remember it, because I do have quite a good memory for that kind of thing. So I must have been really small, but I think the fact that it was such an impressive, it's clearly a person in there, it's a suit, but it's quite technologically advanced, that one. I wonder if it was Jim Henson Company or something. And yeah, I think that maybe is why it sort of captured my imagination even at that really, really young age, to the point that I didn't even remember what it was. But anyway, that's what I'm feeling. It's the sort of slow Norris vibe. Is this Christmas Ape's friend here? This kind of little Red Riding Hood, slightly creepy girl child. She's not really standing in a way that is gonna like lend itself to be, I don't know, maybe she is. She's kind of looking in the right direction as well. I think this is who we're gonna go for. Because again, I don't want to spend all day just doing the box art and then not end up doing any, oh, flip me. Bicycles, skip. Oh, I don't know. I've proven I'm not a robot. That's good to know. Yeah, I don't want to spend ages doing this, so we'll go with the first one we find. This is Christmas Ape's friend at summer camp. She's kind of a Girl Scout or something. I don't really know how summer camp works, but she's standing back here. Don't really like where his arm is, to be honest. It's just like wherever I put her, she's kind of being covered up. But yeah, she's there. She's his friend. She also is going to need a bit of a color correct in some way, shape, or form. I think maybe just desaturate her a bit. To be honest, that's probably all I need to do. Something like that. Maybe deal with her levels a bit, her black and white levels. Yeah, maybe like that. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe that's she's a bit overexposed now. Something like that. That's fine. And then I probably just need to do a little bit of a drop shadow, or I could do the other thing, which I sometimes do, which is to like physically create a little copy of a person underneath. I'm going to turn this black and then turn it into a shadow. So if I now select this, there's various ways to turn it black. You can just, well, actually no, that's not the best way to do it. There are various ways to turn it black, and that's not one of them. This is one of them. That's an easy way to do it. And then if I just like blur that, you can add drop shadows to stuff, but it depends. That can just make it look like you've plonked it down flat and there's like shadow underneath it. Like it doesn't always work, but just going to add a nice bit of shadow. If nothing else, I've made, I think, quite a good, if there is a measure of that, quite a good Christmas ape box art today. So nice blurry shadow, and then of course we don't want it to be really thick like that, so we just change the opacity a little bit, and then we make sure that the shadow is underneath her shoes by fanning around like that until it's doing what you want it to do. Just want it to be a bit longer though. I think I just want it to be legs. Is that legs? Is that legs? Again, it's not really the best way to do this, but that kind of works. Just maybe move it up a bit, move it across a little bit. It's probably still a bit too dark, so I'll just do that. There we go. So she's casting a bit of a shadow now. Again, it's a bit too dark. The more you look at these things, you're like, whoa, that's a lot. That's a bit much. So it just makes her look a little bit more like she's in the scene. If I was working on this as, like I say, if I was doing this in a slightly more serious way, I would spend a lot longer on it than that. And I think also Christmas 8 probably just needs maybe like a 0 distance drop shadow on him as well. Just to like kind of soften his edges a bit, really. That's all he needs. See, that's like subtle, but I feel it just, like around here especially, I think it just adds a tiny bit of like depth to him that like I think helps. Okay, so that's Christmas 8 goes to summer camp. I'm pretty pleased with that. I would play this day and night. So I am going to, let me just flip around now and save this properly and I'll just save it into the downloads. Christmas Ape. .psd, yes, and I'll save it as a PNG as well. That would be a really niche Twitter account to do, where you are doing mock-ups of like movie posters or game box art or whatever, but you just do Troy McClure stuff. I think that would be great. I would follow that account for sure if it was good. So I've saved that now, and finally you guys have already done it, but I can move on to my one of these, this thing. What do you call it? Thumbnail. I will find my Christmas Ape Goes to Summer Camp.png and I'll place that in there. So this box art, normally actually the template that I've got already has a box art from, it's like the Da Vinci Code or something, it's from ages ago, that is already in here. And I would then normally like size it up and perfectly angle it so that it overlays in exactly the right position and exactly the right angle, which is why, if you go back and look at all of the PS2 era video games that we've played, worst games ever at TripleJump, you'll find the box art on each thumbnail matches up pretty much pixel perfect every time. It's because Peter Austin is a professional who makes sure that these things are completely consistent, except when he sometimes doesn't, but that's fine. So, but it's something like this. And then what we've also got, if you really want to get serious about this, if you really want to do it exactly the way that we do it, or TripleJump, what we do is we put a stroke on it, like that. In fact, to tell you what, if you want to do it exactly the way we do it at TripleJump, we probably wouldn't, if we could help it, use the American version like this, NTSC. We would use a PAL version, which would have a PEGI rating on it, if anything. Certainly wouldn't have an ESRB, ESRB, piece of crap like that. Well, what are you going to do? Too late for that now.
Pro thumbnail maker Peter Austin. TTJ Dick salute.
That reminds me, I've got a few alerts to read. We had a... I've missed a little bit here. We've got Donak has gifted their 59th sub, and that's gone to Resident B, who did the NFT chimp. That's lovely. The system works. Thank you for first time chatting, by the way, Resident B. I don't know if I actually said as well, thank you to Lobrotovich for the 100 bits when he blazed, but he did blaze, and we appreciate his jokes and his bits. When I say we appreciate your bits, yeah, okay. Donak, thank you for gifting a sub. Then we had 100 bits from Rob, who asked if we can give it an 18 rating. Sadly not, Rob. It's already mature. And when we could, if I had the time and effort.
Your box art is beautiful, TTJU, Pete.
Thank you. Leary Fly 9990 subscribed by a Prime for 2 months and said, "Oh yeah, here we go, art time." Thank you, Leary Fly, for subscribing for 2 months now. Thanks for sticking with us. Stephen Skodis with 100 bits, who says, "Pro thumbnail maker Peter Austin." Well, I do my very best. And then we had 100 bits from Rob, DW24, who gave 100 bits and said, "Your box art is beautiful." Well, thank you, Rob. So a stroke is a complicated term for an outline, a border. You know, you can make it really big like that if you want. I don't know why you would do that, but you can. So there we go. I really like this font here, Christmas Ape Goes to Summer Camp. I'm a big fan of that. I love how this developed as well. I just found a Yeti, and then I found a Christmas hat, and I was like, hey, do you remember when Troy McClure said Christmas Ape on The Simpsons? And now here we have a whole box art for it. So we've got that. So we would stick a stroke on it like that. I say we, I mean me. Yeah, it goes about there. It's probably a bit bigger than it normally would be. I don't know. You know, you'd think I would know just naturally now, but no, because I line it up with the Da Vinci Code box art in my template thumbnail. Don't know why it's the Da Vinci Code, because that's like halfway through. I must have accidentally saved over my project at one point. Because I just rely on just like lining it up perfectly with the Da Vinci Code, then you know, it sucks. It doesn't work. So I set this normally is default 135, so get 135 degrees. Add some direction to it. There you go. Some distance. Sorry. So you can see what we're doing here. We've made a shadow. We can choose the distance that we want. Again, normally I would just copy and paste whatever settings I've got on the box art on the Da Vinci Code on my settings, but it's normally a fairly sharp shadow that's fairly close, so you just see a little bit of it like that. And then it's not super opaque. Something like that, probably. Maybe slightly more opaque than that, but that's what we do. Which is subtle, I know, but it can help when you know you're working on, particularly if there's quite a bright screenshot that you're working with. So we would pop that down there, somewhere-ish, there-ish, and then we would want a. Typically on Worst Games Ever thumbnails, I tend to focus on faces. I think they are quite clickable on YouTube. I think especially when you're dealing with if you want people to click, then faces stand out, especially if they are like weird faces or wonky faces. You know, we try and find the weirdest face in our whole capture. Some games we play, they don't have faces in them, which is a kind of a weird thing to say, but it's true. Captain Scarlet, for example, it tends to be driving games that don't have any faces in them whatsoever. That's an example of a thumbnail where I pulled something in that wasn't from the game. I got just an actual image of Captain Scarlet. It wasn't taken from any of the backgrounds or the loading screens, although there was actually Captain Scarlet in the game, but it wasn't very high res. So I just pulled in, you know, a picture of Captain Scarlet. That's an example of that, because I think if you don't have a face on a Worst Games Ever thumbnail, you're not necessarily going to catch people's eye. People who aren't familiar with the series. You know, it's about pulling in people who don't know the show. I know that people like you in the chat, people who are subscribed to the channel, typically are here for at least Worst Games Ever, and then hopefully other things as well, ranked lists and everything else. But a lot of people, certainly the fan base of old from What Culture and Vidiots, one of the reasons they're still with us is because they really like Worst Games Ever as a show. So generally, they're probably going to click on every episode, so it doesn't really matter so much how good the thumbnail is for those people. Of which you might be one of those people. So what I'm saying is, I don't make the effort for you. Who do you think you are? I do it for the people who might get recommended the video, who have no idea who TripleJump is. You have to have something that looks good, eye-catching, and the best way to do that, especially with bad games, is to show a funny face. So I'm going to maybe... this is obviously an except because we don't have an actual game to pull from. So it's like, am I just going to use the? I've got caps lock on, which is annoying, but I'm hoping there might be renders of that Yeti from a different angle. There aren't, but that's fine. Yeti. Oh, there he is. Someone's put him in a thing. Look at all these people who've used this image. Oh, look at that. See, that is a... Oh, these are like iStock images. And if you click on them, they've probably got watermarks all over them, which is a shame. Well, this one doesn't. Can I not just right click? I mean, I don't advise doing this, and certainly if you're doing commercial projects, you shouldn't do it because it's like outright illegal. I mean, even me using this on a Twitch stream that we're paying money for is probably not like, it's not completely above board. But I mean, that I'm allowed to do that here and now, in that like it's not stopping me from doing it, and it's not giving me. Oh, I mean that's too good not to use. I was debating whether I do this. I was like, I shouldn't really. Oh, and this. Look at all these. Problem is, this guy's cropped off. So if I right-click him and try and copy him, if I try and funge this token, he is going to be cropped off a bit, which is not ideal. Hello? Why can't I scroll anymore? Oh my god, something's happened. Hello? Let me refresh the page. Okay, there we go. Yeah, he is going to be cropped, but actually only a little bit of him is missing on the left side, so I could have him right up against... I could deal with this. I mean, that's hilarious as well. So... But that, I'm a big fan of that. So, this isn't going to be... If we donate enough, Peter can legally use this. Yeah, I'm funging this token. Oh, it did let me just completely right-click and do that. Okay, that's fine. Now, this isn't going to be great because it's not a alpha PNG with transparency. So we've got the white, and we need to get rid of the white. And unfortunately, when you're dealing with like this crap, it's called hair. You're not going to have a great time. What I could do is... which one would it be? One of these, I think. Let me just get some kind of background here. If I just make this really big. Just so I know what we're working with. You'll see what I mean in a minute. I need something to overlay this on. One of these, I think, will just get rid of the white and leave the Yeti on. Or no, it's doing the opposite of that. It's getting rid of, one of them gets rid of just the Yeti. Most of them do. See, that pretty much gets rid of the Yeti, but not the, that's fine. Sometimes with like the kind of styles, like the overlay styles, you can make stuff disappear in certain ways. I'm not very well versed on those. So okay, I'm just gonna have to do the thing that I don't want to have to do, which is...
Right, gonna need to split to get work done catching a stream live after a while. Don't know when if get the chance to watch live again till May, though I'll try to hop in again during the birthday stream, where I might see my fellow early April BD friends fight over unholy war trading cards. Which, since that's what happens in UGIO, I guess it's the norm. Anyway, happy March 14th.
My god.
The day that Mr. Krabs fries.
Robot Lady just butchers stuff sometimes, doesn't she? Oh man, it's done a pretty good job of selecting that. If I do that on... Okay, no, it's not. It's not. You can now select subject, can't you? This is a new button. It's relatively new, I think. And Photoshop tries to work out what it is that you want. I say give me a black background on what I've selected. No, that's still rubbish. Look at all that white it's collected. So that's the issue when you're dealing with hair and stuff. Thank you, Jack, by the way, for the 100 bits. Sorry you can't stick around for the whole stream, but that's fine. All the best to you and good luck with your work. If we feather it, that'll soften the edges. If we shift the edge towards the Yeti, I mean, you can immediately see you start to lose detail. If you look at his hand on the top left, if you choke in too much, you know, I can actually lose fingertips and stuff, which is Yeah, these tools and these adjustments are all handy, but it's tricky. It's difficult getting these things right. I mean, the trick really would be to just put him on a very pale background so you can't even see all this white that's still hanging around on him. Or I could, oh, get off. No. If I get myself a black background so that I can see what remains. If I pull out the eraser, make it soft and small. No, much smaller than that. You know, you can sit here and do all this. Oh, hang on. Why is he? What? Oh, yeah. Hang on. That black back. Yeah, I know what I've done there. That's fine. I had it selected, didn't I? There we go. So you know, you can do this foolishness, this business for a while if you want to, and you know, Neil Buchanan would say, "I'm just doing this quickly to show you." Maybe I will. Maybe I'll just do it quickly to show you. I was going to say you can do this, and I was going to not do it because you don't want to sit and watch me erasing the edges of a Yeti for the next 10 minutes, but I'm not going to spend 10 minutes on it. In some places, it's just going to look like white fur. Anyway, it's going to look like kind of highlights, so that's fine. Yetis have highlights, don't they? I think they do. Make this small. You can go in there. Again, like, this isn't the way I would do it in my own time. Some of these are going to come out quite sharp. But, I mean, already, actually, I've kind of got rid of the worst of it there. I mean, there's some of it here. And this is still a bit white, and there's kind of stuff up here a little bit, but maybe some of this is fur that I'm actually getting rid of, but that's all right. That's fine. That'll do. That will suffice. Yeah, it was a rush job, but that's all right. That's okay. That is fine. So what we could do now, before we make him any bigger, we can go in here, and this doesn't always work out very well. It kind of depends picture to picture, and you can say sharpen or sharpen more. Yeah, and it's going to be like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about, and it's that, yeah, I know, because I'm on the wrong layer and I'm an idiot, and that's what. Can't delete that layer for some reason. I love Photoshop sometimes. Big fan of it. Yes. If I was pressing the delete button, you piece of crap, on my keyboard. Filter, sharpen more. See, that has really just brought out all this horrible features. Maybe just a sharpen. Dunno. Yeah, maybe. So look, if I, that's unsharpened and that's sharpened. That's unsharpened, that's sharpened. Looks a bit sharper. Problem is now, when I scale him up, he's going to look like crap. I mean, he looks okay. He looks all right there. And you can choose which way it's scaling as well. Like, you can make it smoother. Maybe smoother is better in this instance because he's already a bit, oh, I don't know. That wasn't very, that looks pretty ugly. Maybe try sharper, see what that does. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's not, like, I wouldn't use this as a thumbnail on YouTube because it's not good enough, but we've already broken the law to get this image, so we may as well crack on, I think. So I want that on the top layer, that thing, so it's covering everything, including his legs down there. Is that legs? So here he is, looking kind of horrified. Normally, on a worst games thumbnail, we would have something like this size, you know, like a really big face, but that is just grainy town all day. So we're going to have a smaller one. We've done like sort of full body shots in the past, so that's fine. And maybe we will see if we could perhaps at least find girl render. We had no luck with Yeti render, but perhaps little girl render will work. Where's she at? I mean, that could be her. There, she's there. Can you do like related images on here? No, you can't. That's fine. Keep her eyes peeled. See if there's a very similar looking child. I feel like these kids maybe are also at summer camp, and so I'm going to use them. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to download this image. I'm not a robot. Stop asking. What I want to know is when they're going to introduce buttons that say I'm not a Grombot, because I think we all need to prove that. Maybe we're going to bunch these girls up close to each other. So they're not spread so widely. If I no, hang on, I don't want to do that yet. I want to move them all into frame. Yeah, okay. Hello, I'm an idiot. I mean, I'm not an idiot, but like whenever I'm photoshopping on YouTube, I'm always on like the wrong layer all the time. I don't know how it happens. I guess when you're sitting a lot closer to the monitor that you're using, you're kind of a bit more aware of that kind of thing. Yeah, I pressed enter. Photoshop, please. So cut her and paste. Cut, paste. Oh, I missed a bit of her head off. Let's go back. There we go. Cut, paste. Right, so they've been pasted into new layers. All three of them are down here, which means I can maybe bring them closer together. She should be in front of her. Whip. And her. Is she in front of all three of them? I can't really tell who's supposed to be. Who's supposed to be where? But there we go. We've got these potentially quite horrid girls. I think they're evil girls. I think they're out to get Christmas ape at summer camp. This one seems like it's a bit too big. There we go. So there, I've just bunched them up a bit closer, and now I'm happy to just quickly merge them all back together again, like those. Don't need to keep them separate the whole time. So we're getting there. I think Christmas Ape is a bit scared of these girls. They've been making fun of him, and his only friend is this girl down here. I could put the Christmas hat back on him. Do I do that quickly? I won't fanny around too much. What time is it? It's 7:15, so we need to wrap up, but we're getting there. I just need a forest background. Oh no, I want Christmas hat render. There it is. Oh look, there was an almost identical version of it. So you want to be wrapping up your own arts now. Get tweeting them on hashtag TJR, and we will do today's gallery. Can't wait to see what games you've come up with, what thumbnails you've done, whether you've done your own box arts, whether you've just done the thumbnails, whatever you like. There we go. That looks fine. Maybe just a little touch of the DSAT. Where is it? I should know all these shortcuts by now, but I don't. And perhaps just... No, that's not what I clicked. Exposure, there we go. I don't know, it's probably fine as it is, to be honest. I don't know what to do with that. So here are the horrid girls. They're here to make Christmas Ape's life a misery at summer camp. He's just here for a good time. He's just here to learn about knots and stuff, you know, and sing campfire songs and swim in the lake. He's having a bad time. So now I would just grab any old forest. Maybe a pine forest, ideally. Pacific Northwest, but it doesn't matter a huge amount. Skyrim. That is actually Skyrim, I think. That'll do. Or maybe it won't, because it's a bit of a funny angle, but we'll try that, because at least it's video gamey. Pop that behind everyone. Whoa. Nice and big. To the point that like you can barely even tell what's going on in it, but that's kind of what I want. I don't want a great deal of detail on there. Makes Christmas Ape look a bit more out of place now, because he's like sort of very pale toned, and we've got this quite warm image. But you know, I can always, you can actually like deal with the warmth of stuff, I think. What is it? Image adjustment. Vibrance. Color balance, maybe. Can't really remember. I'm sure there's like one of these. What was that? One of these things when you actually pull up the window to start filling around. Actually, there's an actual scale that says warmth. It might even be, is it photo filter? Warming filter. Cooling filter. I mean, that might do it. Oh, I'm on Christmas Ape now. Well, I'll just warm him up then. Don't know about this, but it's there. That could be a worst games ever thumbnail. I think there's something in it. I'm gonna merge Christmas Ape all together and maybe just adjust him a little bit. Oh, Jesus! Why? Hello? Oh, it's because I'm trying to merge these two. Well, there we go. Okay. We just darken his dark. So see that helps. That does help, I think. Something like that. I don't know. I set out on this journey, kind of thinking, yeah, we'll do a worst games ever style thumbnail, and then almost as soon as I started doing the thumbnail aspect, I thought, like, before I started doing the actual box art, when I just opened up the frame and I was like, okay, we'll head to Pixabay, and then I thought, thing is, Pixabay is not going to have necessarily the kind of thing that we would typically use in a worst games thumbnail, because the whole point is we would scrub through our footage, find the glitchiest, weirdest bits where like they've done bad faces and like, or something's halfway through a wall, or someone's arm is like, you know, doing something stupid. And that is what we would use. And then I thought, well, Pixabay generally, there might be some weird stuff on there, but not like badly done necessarily. Like, do you know what I mean? Not glitchy stuff. So as soon as I began, I was like, okay, maybe just sort of focus on the box art for the bulk of this stream. But broadly speaking, I think that's fun. I would watch this episode. I'd be like, hey, what the hell is going on here? You know, this is strange. Yeah, I think it works pretty much. I just desaturate these girls and then I'm done. So get posting your stuff onto hashtag TJArt on Twitter, because we are about to do the gallery. But I kind of like that. I mean, I don't like how grainy Christmas Ape is. Maybe I should have just used the same one. I think on balance, I probably should have done, because it would have looked a bit more video gamey and stuff. You can kind of just tell that is not a video game screenshot, and therefore it kind of loses the worst games ever feeling to it. But I think it's good still. I'd also watch the following every Christmas Ape game from worst to best ranked video. I'd watch that. Yeah, me too. Thank you, Joeit1118, for subscribing via Prime for 34 months. Keep up the good artwork, Peter. Thank you very much, Joe T. That's excellent. Hey, TP, if our thumbnail attempts are based on real games and are good enough, could our art potentially be used as the actual thumbnail if said real game is featured on Worst Games Ever, says Forgotten Media? I mean, probably not, only for rights reasons. Well, for two reasons. Number one, we almost always will use screenshots from our episode in the thumbnail to entice people in, and people will see what is in the thumbnail and think, oh, I want to watch the video for that image. And so therefore, if someone submitted an art that didn't match up to our game capture, then that's one reason why we probably wouldn't do it. And then the other reason is, like, as much as anyone could say, oh no, you can use my image as the thumbnail, I don't mind, off you go, you use it. If, like, down the line they change their mind, the whole way the YouTube system works is it's kind of messed up. So if someone said that thumbnail they're using is my artwork, even if we said, oh well, they said that we could use it, it's normally in the favor of the creator, not the YouTube creator, but the original rights holder of the artist, and that's fair enough in cases where there's been like legitimate, people taking art that doesn't belong to them, like this man. But yeah, in the case of maybe where someone said, hey, you can use my art, and then if they change their mind, you can still get like stung for that, which is a real shame. But anyway, that's probably why we would do that. I don't know, Christmas Apes model looks like late PS2 games circa 2004, 2005. I mean, he sort of does, but I just mean like the graininess, like he's very pixelated. You can tell that he started out as a small image and has been pulled up like that. I normally wouldn't do that in worse games if I could help it, but can't always help it. I'm a big fan of the artwork though, the box art. I think that's great. Christmas Ape goes to summer camp. Really proud of that. So that's my art for today. That is more really a walk through how to make video game box art rather than how to make a Worst Games Ever thumbnail. This really just was pulled together at the last minute, but you get the idea. So I'm now going to head over to Twitter and look at hopefully a few more of people's submissions for today's gallery. We'll see what there is. I'll refresh the page. Maybe no one's posted any. Oh no, we've certainly got some. We've got a few. We've got some hand-drawn ones as well. Oh, people have had fun with this. This is great. Okay, excellent. This is my favourite bit of the streams, the art stream. You're right there, Emma. Looks like she's fallen asleep on me, doesn't she? So here we go. This is the last one we saw. This is the last one we saw. Oh, well, that's horrid. That is really horrid. John Gressley, Mr. Black, says, I did another one and I am sorry. That I think has had Photoshop's oil painting effect applied to it, and it somehow makes this whole image worse than it was originally, which is great. We've got him standing around looking at his watch. Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie, the game. Oh, good grief. I mean, if that game existed, I'm sure it would be a worst game ever, like almost certainly. So that's fantastic and horrid. Well done. This is GY Goliath's art skills of an actual thumbnail from Worst Games Ever for Jaws Unleashed, one that I really struggled with. I didn't know what to do for this one. I couldn't find really a single frame where Jaws looked weird, and I was like, I can't just do Jaws from Jaws Unleashed just looking like a shark in the water. And it was quite a grainy capture as well when you like pulled anything, like scaled anything up to being a decent size, because there was a bit when he was like beached on the beach, but it wasn't very good. It was like, it wasn't good. So I had to just get a picture of a shark eating another shark. I made a picture of a shark eating another shark, and then just put two giant eyes on it just to make it look stupid and try and pull people in. So there's a little behind the curtain moment for you. I've used my terrible art skills to pay homage to an excellent episode of Worst Games Ever. Peter, I hope I didn't mess it up too bad. No, you arguably made it better than it was. And you've used your special physical digital medium there. I love that. That's great. Well done, GY Goliath. Oh, hell yeah. What a twist. It's Best Games Ever. I will still play you for those Unholy War cards at BillyCon. Who do you think had that only bid in the first place? Oh no, did you really? I wasn't I thought it said that, I thought it was, oh no, but it would be, wouldn't it? I was going to say it was in dollars, that bid, but then my bid was in dollars. So I assumed it was just some American. And on eBay, it lets you see the first letter of the person's username, doesn't it? And I think I did even check to see if it was either an N or an L for Lobrotovich, and I don't think it was either of those. Is your eBay username something different? Because if I'd known it was you, I wouldn't have tried to outbid you. I thought this was the danger as well. I was like, there's a chance that the two of us will both be bidding on this, and we're really going to inflate the price unnecessarily. Yeah, they're never right, are they? Says Obrotovich. Yeah, I would absolutely play you for those. I'm happy to put those up as a prize. So when BillyCon happens, Lord Brotovich and I will play a competitive match of Unholy War, and whoever wins keeps those cards. I'm more than happy to put those up. Hidden message. Oh, look, it's the Red Arrows ring thumbnail technique. Hidden messages in Captain America credits? Unholy War 2 releases April 20th, 2023. Don't tease me, Lord Brotovich. Put your other games in the bin, Red Arrow. Metascore, but it's the best game ever. Sad Mario. This is great. I would play this. I would watch this, sorry. As long as you cross out the word worst up here, because otherwise you're going straight to hell. Wow, this is something. Steven says, completed the thumbnail for the game I sent in for Worst Games Ever in the Tatapeel last year. Saw 2. That's one we will play at some point. PS3 games are difficult for us to various consoles are a bit harder for us to capture. PS3, we generally have to play that on an actual console. We've done a couple of PS3 games recently. So it's basically whenever Ben brings in his PS3, we can do a little batch of PS3 games. And Xbox we can't emulate at all. Therefore, we would have to use an actual console, but then trying to get a capture card hooked up to an original Xbox and capture in any kind of decent quality is a nightmare. So and PC games as well, we've had a few of those, and like we worry about system requirements and stuff and trying to get them to work on like a Windows 10 PC. So there are certain platforms where, you know, people might have sent stuff in a long time ago and they're thinking like, oh, why haven't they played my game yet? Especially, I mean, this looks hilarious. Look at Jigsaw there. You know, that looks like a funny game, but it being PS3, it's not one that we can't play, and we may well play it at some point, but PS3 is not as easy as PS1 and PS2, which explains, I know people complain that like we play loads of PS2 games, we play quite a lot of PS1 games, and then hardly anything else, but it's partly just the nature of like how we capture stuff, unfortunately. But that's great. There's a Worst Games thumbnail for Saw. Oh, look at this. Becky Fordham has done the Lassie thumbnail, an actual drawing of the Lassie thumbnail that we did. This was another hard one to do because Lassie at no point really looked that bad physically, the model. So I picked the frame where her mouth was open the widest, and I think I may have even widened it a little bit in Photoshop, and then I just put the man in the background. But this was a hard one to do a thumbnail for. So there you go, there's Lassie. That's wonderful, Becky. I really like that. Bit of countryside as well in the background as well. You know that appeals to me. We've had another one, another person doing the Jaws Unleashed one. Donna Chapman says, I've moved away from lined paper at last. Oh, I'm very happy for you, Donna. The lined paper was fine. Don't worry about it. But, you know, even as long as you're happy. You're slowly colouring in, I think, the blue here. And we've got the Jaws Unleashed. Seemingly quite a popular thumbnail there. Glad it went down well because I really struggled with and worried about that episode or its thumbnail. Now that's what I call a TJ art. This is SingStar Tom Jones. He has been liquefied. So that's a tool that I do sometimes use as well on Worst Games Ever. I'll just show those of you who aren't familiar with Photoshop what liquefy can do. So you would go to image, or is it filter? Filter, liquefy. And it gives you tools. If I bring this, it brings up this window here, and you can I don't know how to use the quote-unquote camera controls on this window, but then you can grab certain tools. So there is like a bloat tool, so you can, you know, like do things like that. You know, immediately that looks like funny. And I don't do it too much on Worst Games Ever. I hardly use this tool at all, but if I have a boring looking thumbnail, I might just exaggerate a few features. This is the pull tool, so you can just do stupid stuff like this. It's what people who don't know how to use Photoshop very well use to make themselves a certain shape on selfies, to the point that they end up like warping the background, and you can see that they've just, you know, like the walls behind them are all weird looking. I mean, I can't use Photoshop very well either, but there you go. I mean, immediately we've got two very horrible looking characters there. Maybe I could have done that on this occasion. Oh, that's odd. Very weird, you know, so you can play around with that if you like. If you're new to Photoshop, give that a go. But that's what Lobrotovich has done here. And it's horrid. I hate it. There's SingStar Tom Jones. That would be a Worst Game Ever. I would play it every day. And it is truly a #TJ art. And then finally for the day, we've got Drew, or Drew, I guess, because it's and Drew, who says, I've been working on this during TJ Art Stream. Look at that. Oh, it's Majura's mask. You chipping that out with tools, with chisels. Looks like that's, you're carving it. That's cool, very cool. Big fan of that. So I think that's it. I think we're all caught up on today's submissions. Well, I've had a great time. I like the fact that 2 people have done this. I like the liquefied Tom Jones. I like the people who've done, you know, actual drawings of, and this one of past real thumbnails. I like the imaginary games that we've come up with. That's horrid. You know, they're all... Oh, and look at this. Remember this? Fantastic. Love the shading on that, the colours. I would have that on my wall. And the continued adventures of Hombot as well. You know, he may be dead on my computer at home, where the movies no longer runs, but at least he's being kept alive by Garrett Coulter. Brilliant. Well, everyone, that just about brings us to the end of today's stream. This is what I'm most proud of today. Christmas Ape Goes to Summer Camp, the box art. Maybe just to play us out, I'm going to bring up every Troy McClure movie Listen out for Christmas Ape, everyone. Oh. That was not very nice noise.
Hello, I'm Troy McClure.
Oh, what?
You may remember me from such movies as Cry Yuma and Here Comes the Coast Guard. The Revenge of Abe Lincoln.
Okay, no, yeah, this is the right one. I thought it was going to show the entire scene of everyone, but this is, yeah. He then just starts listing them off one by one.
I'm Troy McClure. You may remember me from such movies as Cry Yuma and Here Comes the Coast Guard.
Oh, don't forget Adi Pramana's, people are saying. The Revenge of Abe Lincoln. What did I miss? Did I miss one out? There's the one at the top. Oh no, have I scrolled past one? Oh, here we go. Oh, hello there. Twitter won't show my tweet on the hashtag with a picture attached, so please click this and scroll up. That's weird. I wonder why it's doing that. Thanks for letting me know in the chat. Don't know why it's not showing it on the hashtag. TJR. How odd. Anyway, maybe it's because it's a direct at, maybe? No, I don't know. Anyway. Legs. Oh, look at that. Sorry, I just phased out from it. I was staring at it, but I wasn't looking at it, and I was thinking, why is that not showing up on the hashtag? And I was thinking, Meanwhile, everyone else is soaking in this image. And then I sort of came back down to earth and went, right, so what am I looking at here? And suddenly, is this legs? There he is. There's the Simpsons' legs. There's some legs. There's some legs there. There's a chicken leg. There are some legs. And those that, look, they are legs. Don't tell me they're not legs. They turned out to be fingers. It's the June game. But, oh, you've used the June font as well. That's fantastic. PS5 coming soon. Is this legs? Yes, it is. Well done, Adi Pramana. I don't know why that is not showing up. I don't know if it's because it starts with @ Peter Austin. Has anyone else done that? Yes, they have. I don't know why that's not... Because I can see this. It's not like... Don't know, but that's a shame. But that, I'm glad we didn't miss that at the end. Thanks for pointing that out, everyone, that was still to be enjoyed. Here we go. Listen out for Christmas Ape.
Hello, I'm Troy McClure. You may remember me from such movies as Cry Yuma and Here Comes the Coast Guard. The Revenge of Abe Lincoln and the wackiest covered wagon in the West. Buck Henderson, Union Buster, and Troy and Company's Summertime Smile Factory. Handle with care. Today we kill, tomorrow we die, and Gladys the Groovy Mule. Calling all Quakers. Lead paint, delicious but deadly. And here comes the metric system. Mothballing your battleship. And dig your own grave
and save.
The erotic adventures of Hercules. And Dial M for murderousness. Alice's adventures through the windshield glass. And the decapitation of Larry Leadfoot. P is for Psycho. And the president's neck is missing.
Every one of these is great. I'm trying not to laugh at every one of them because then we won't be able to hear the other ones. But every time he says one, I want to laugh at that one. And then he says another one. I'm having to just stifle or just control myself.
Is missing. Out with Gout 88 and let's save Tony Orlando's house. Smoke yourself thin and get confident, stupid. The boat jacking of Super Ship 79 and Hydro, the man with the hydraulic arms. 2 minus 3 equals negative fun. And Firecrackers, the silent killer. Alien Nose Job. And 5 fabulous weeks of the Chevy Chase Show. Designated drivers, the life-saving nerds, and phony tornado alarms reduce readiness. Andre the Giant, we hardly knew ye. And Shem Powered, today we mourn a stooge.
Meet Joe Blow and give my remains to Broadway.
The verdict was mail fraud and leper in the backfield.
Last night's dinner.
Locker room towel fight, the blinding of Larry Driscoll.
Make out King of Montana and the Electric Gigolo.
Christmas Ape and Christmas Ape goes to summer camp.
Yes.
Son of Sanford and Son. And Aftermath.
Son of Sanford and
goes
Son.
to summer camp. Son of Sanford and Son. And After Mannix.
David versus Super Goliath and Suddenly Last Supper.
Alice doesn't live anymore. And Mommy, what's wrong with that man's face? Welcome to Springfield Airport. And where's Nordstrom? Earwigs, ooh. And Man versus Nature, the road to victory.
The road to victory. That's a good one.
And Man versus Nature, the road to victory.
Oh. Rest in peace, right? He's no longer with us. Phil Hartman. There we go. Yeah. Fantastic character. And Lionel Hutz as well. Phil Hartman. Genius. There we go. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed those. I laughed over Christmas 8 because I was too busy laughing at whatever, you know, Alice doesn't live anymore or something. Dial M for murderousness. P is for psycho. That's great, that one. Good. Well, that was today's art stream. We watched a few videos today, which sort of happens, but that's a good thing about these streams. We just sit back, we chill, bit of Photoshop, bit of paint, bit of pencil and paper. People draw horrible things. We all go to hell. And then we wrap up the stream and we go and enjoy ourselves. Something I keep forgetting to do on my streams is raiding people at the end. So I'm going to see if any known friends of the channel are live on the internet right now. We've got Rach. Rach is live. Looks like Rach is the only person of the people we follow who is currently live. And hey, that's fine. That's good. Let's raid Rach. Send my regards to Rach because I've got to go home now, so I won't be able to sit and watch her stream with you guys. Raid, don't rage quit. Everyone get in the raid queue if you want to go and say hello to Rach. She's probably playing some Elden Ring. I didn't actually check, but I'm fairly confident that is what she'll be playing. But maybe not. Who's to say? So I hope you've enjoyed today's stream. Ashton will have put a video out tonight, so go and have a look at that. That will be a list. More lists throughout the week, of course. Worst games ever and weirdest games ever both went out on YouTube on the weekend. If you watched one and didn't watch the other because they both came out close together and you missed one, then do check out the other one. They're both very fun episodes. And you know, just all the usual stuff. Just have a good Monday and like watch our stuff and things like that. You know, follow us on Facebook and send me your arts. #TJArt anytime between now and the next stream, and you will be in next week's, next episodes or next month's gallery. There we go. So that's it. I'm gonna raid now, and I'll catch you guys all on Thursday or something. You know, cool. Right, bye then.